Chanukah, Chanukah, come light the menorah. A party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. A sivivon to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. For all you Yiddish speakers out there, we're going to sing it in Yiddish too. If you're with us in Mishkan Tefillah, you can find these Yiddish words transliterated to English letters on page 670. Oy Chanukah, Yantif Ashener, Lastika, Freiliche, Nita Nachatzener, Alle Nacht in Dreidlach spielen wir, zu de Chesselatkas hest an a Schir, Geschwinder, singt Kinder, die Linkelicht Elichan. Singt Al Hanissim, läuft Gott bald in Nissim, und Kicher tanzen in Korn. Singt Al Hanissim, läuft Gott bald in Nissim, und Kicher tanzen in Korn. English. Chanukah, Chanukah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Sivivon to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Sivivon sov sov sov, Chanukah hu chag tov, Chanukah hu chag tov. Sivivon sov sov sov, nes hu la'am, nes gadol haya sham, nes gadol haya sham, chag simcha hu la'am. Sivivon sov sov sov, Chanukah hu chag tov, Chanukah hu chag tov. Sivivon sov sov sov.
Happy Hanukkah, everybody. Well, it's here. It's here. The last night, the full Chanukiah will shine brightly into our homes and into our hearts. So I hope you have all your candles ready. I didn't have any blue, green, or orange really left. I had one orange one, so yellow and white it is for us tonight here in my house. And, there's 44 candles in a box of Hanukkah candles, because of course, if you do the math, that's exactly what you need for your Chanukiah. So tonight we're going to sing the brachot, sing the blessings together. I'm speaking a little bit so you make sure you get all of your candles in your menorah, in your Chanukiah, and we're ready to sing. So Rabbi Chaikin, if you'll put up our blessings. I hope everybody actually knows them by now, but in case you don't, Rabbi Rabashah is going to help lead us tonight in the brachot, in the blessings.
It's really funny, the 44 candles, because it doesn't account for the inevitable one or two that always break.
They do, don't they?
They really do. So I actually had to melt one in already, but here it's bright and we are ready to light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Chanukah. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who has sanctified us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle these Chanukah lights.
And we join as Rabbi Chaikin's lighting all of his beautiful candles on his Chanukiah. And I hope you were burning yours as well. There's a second blessing that we recite. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim lavoteinu u'imoteinu bayamim hahem b'hazman hazeh. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who has made miracles for our ancestors during these days and at this time as well. Amen.
Amen. Ma'osur Yeshuati Lecha Na'el Lishabeach Tikon Beit Tefilati V'sham Toda Nizabeach V'etachin Matbeach Nitzar Hamnabeach Az egmor v'shir mizmor Chanukah hamizbeach Az egmor v'shir mizmor Chanukah hamizbeach Rock of ages, let our song praise your saving power. Amidst the raging storms were our sheltering tower. Furious they assailed us, but your arm availed us, and your word broke their sword when our own strength failed us. Sword when our own strength failed us. We have one more verse, the words of our friend Julie Silver, a more modern interpretation of this classic message. Rock of ages, hear our song of peaceful revolution. Tired of battles fierce and long, we yearn for resolution. We are young and learning, but the tide is turning, and your words light a fire within our soul. It's burning, and your words light a fire within our soul, it's burning.
So beautiful.
Oh, not yet.
That's so beautiful to hear Ma'ot Sor, such a part of our holidays, and of course the traditional words of Hanerot Halalu. These are the candles, these lights we light only to behold them, not to use them for any purpose, not to read by them, not to warm ourselves by them, but only to elevate and to publicize the great mitzvah, the great miracle, the great nes that happened to our ancestors in days of old. And that is the life and light of the Jewish people and the renewal of our faith in those ancient days. And these help us renew our faith in these days and times. Tonight I want to share we sang O Chanukah in Yiddish, and there's a great tradition of Yiddish folk tales, and I want to share a Yiddish folk tale with you tonight. It's called The Tale of the Leaf from the Tree of Knowledge, from the Garden of Eden. Once upon a time, a peasant lost his way and found himself in the desert. Suddenly there was a windstorm, and that caught up dust and sand and mixed with all sorts of things, and it whirled around and round and round him. When the storm was over, the peasant came upon a path that led him to a village. As he walked along, he was amazed to feel himself becoming wiser and cleverer, so that he could now understand deep things, things around him better and than he had ever done before. After a while, the peasant grew tired and he sat down to rest and took off his sandals. But as he did so, he felt himself becoming kind of dull and ignorant and boorish as before. And yet, after he awakened, the minute he put his sandals back on, he turned sensible and wise once again. So it was clear to him that the shoes, the sandals, had brought all of this about. Now, the explanation was actually that the windstorm had blown a leaf from the tree of knowledge and out of the Garden of Eden, and the leaf had stuck to the bottom of his shoe. The peasant came to a town in which the king's daughter was very, very ill. All the doctors had despaired of her life, and the king was bracing himself for her imminent death. And then he was told that there was a certain crude peasant who promised to cure his daughter if they would let him. The peasant, using a variety of remedies and herbs, seemed to understand this because of his new wisdom, and he began to cure the princess. Slowly she became conscious again, and after a few days miraculously was healed. The king, as was to be expected, rewarded the peasant significantly. He also kept him in the palace for several days so that the royal physicians could determine whether he had cured the princess with authentic remedies or through something unnatural, magic. The doctors testified about the peasant's remedies, that they were well and wisely chosen. The king had asked the peasant how it was that he, a boorish, ignorant man, had been able to surpass the wisdom of the greatest sages and the greatest doctors in the land. The peasant simply said, "It's my sandals, sir." The king demanded, "What kind of joke is that?" "I'm not joking," said the peasant. "All of my wisdom comes from my sandals. If anyone were to put them on, he would become as smart as I am." The king promised him half his kingdom and much more if the peasant would let him have the sandals. Now it stands to reason that a king cannot wear dirty shoes. So he gave them to his servant to be cleaned. And in order to get them clean, they threw away the leaf from that tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden. And so when the king put on the sandals, he was neither wiser nor more sensible than he had been before. A classic Yiddish tale from this amazing book, Yiddish Folk Tales. It's published by Pantheon, Beatrice Silverman Weinrich, editor, and translated by Leonard Wolf. A beautiful tale about healing in this time. We need healing and we need hope. And while we don't have the leaf from the tree of knowledge, certainly with the news of the vaccines already being distributed during this pandemic, we all have hope in the future for all of us, that we will be able to return in fullness to our lives and return once again to our sacred community like ours at Congregation Kol Ami in West Hollywood, and wherever you are tonight, to the communities that sustain you and keep you and hold you spiritually and emotionally during this time. We are so grateful to our spiritual community at Congregation Kol Ami. We are dedicating each night of this week of Hanukkah to one of our Jewish values. And tonight we have dedicated the Candle of Joy, this 8th candle. And I want to thank our sponsors of the Candle of Joy. And they're Josh Bobrowski and Daniel Tarika and Molly and Rachel, Edward Casson, Rabbi Chaikin and Rabbi Danny Shapiro, Dr. Victor Gabriel and Dr. Nicholas Hiswar, Amir Milchan, Dr. Iris Levine and Leslie Beard, Matthew Rabin and Andrew and Frank Reback. Thank you so much for dedicating tonight's Candle of Joy. And at Kol Ami, we also dedicate the shamash, the server candle that lights all the other candles. And we call that our candle of shalom, our candle of peace. And I want to recognize those sponsors for the shamash candle. And that's Richard Bernard, myself, and my wife, Rabbi Eleanor Steinman, Claudia Queen, Rebecca Schurz and Simon Thompson, Andrew Stein, Michael Sugar, Alan Weisbart, and Alicia Hughes. Thank you to all our donors, for whether for the Candle of Faith or Justice, Hope, Kindness, Family, Health, and Truth. You can see all of those who've donated and supported our sacred community during this time at our temple website at kol-ami.org/Chanukah. We spell it with a CH, CHAUNUKAH. So, and it's not too late. You can make a donation in honor of a loved one for one of these nights, for one of these candles, and hope that you will, as we come to the end of the year here, the secular year, to support the good work that Congregation Kol Ami does each and every day, and supporting us online as we've gone through this pandemic, and what we do when we're back in person with one another. How joyous it is to be here and to celebrate this last week of Hanukkah with you. It's been so much fun to share every night at 5:30, Rabbi Chaikin and our student rabbi, Alana Rabishaw, and myself, and to be with you in your homes and you be with us in our homes during this wonderful holiday of Hanukkah. Hanukkah means rededication, and let us rededicate ourselves to these incredible values and our incredible sense of sacred community that we have with one another in the many ways we build it. We're going to close our Hanukkah celebration online tonight as we sing together from the words of Debbie Friedman, the music of Debbie Friedman, and the words of the book of Zechariah, the Haftarah for the Shabbat of Hanukkah. Not by might, not by power, but by Spirit alone.
Children sing, the children dream, and their tears may fall, but we'll hear them call, and another song will rise, another song will rise, yes, another song will rise. Shall we all live in peace? Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone. Shall we all live in peace? Not by might, not by power. Shalom. Shalom. And happy Hanukkah. Thank you for being with us here at Congregation Kol Ami throughout this festival of Hanukkah. We hope to see you streaming again here for Shabbat tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Not 5:30, but 6:30 p.m. on Shabbat. And we look forward to connecting with you online in the days and weeks to come. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah, friends.
Chag Sameach.